Welcome to the 1st of February, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who are stuck in a 9-to-5 job or a business they own that feels like a job to be able to help them share their knowledge and experience on any given topic. It could be a passion, a skill set, a hobby, be able to share that with people around the world and actually get paid doing it. It is the 1st of February. Amazing. The first month of the year is over. It has gone so quickly. As I said yesterday, it almost feels like yesterday was New Year's Eve, but we're now into February. So hopefully most people have still got their New Year's resolutions going. Most people are starting to really motor in the online world because now is the time to be online. What an opportunity we have today. So I had a call this morning with somebody who's going to join one of my programs. But during the conversation, the question came up, which is a very common question: time. I want to share with you a little bit of the insight into the story, but also how I deal with time in managing my schedule each day. Time and money are the two resources we've got. How we use our time and how we invest. It's so important that we manage our time because it is our greatest asset. It's the one thing we can't get back. And it's important that we actually manage each day and manage our time really closely. So she was saying to me that she thought she might struggle to build her online business because she didn't have enough time. Now, this is a common thing I hear from people. I don't have enough time. So when we got into the discussion, which is what I normally do, to understand how it is they spend their day. So the first thing was, and I'll come back to this in a moment, is didn't have any schedule for her day. It wasn't actually planned out in a sense of writing it down and scheduling what's going to happen. It just happened. And I know this is a common thing for people. It happened, for a lot of my life, and particularly when I was starting online, I didn't have anything scheduled in my day. But let me come back to that in a moment. But the thing that I wanted to really share with you, which I think is a really common thing today, that is actually getting worse, unfortunately, is that when we talked about how she spent her day, she would tell me that she would spend an hour, maybe more, actually it probably was more, scrolling and distracted on social media, just going through her feed and scrolling. She spent 1 other hour also on media generally, Netflix, watching the news. Now, I don't have anything against Netflix. I actually don't watch it, but I don't have anything against it. But she was doing this every single day. So 1 hour scrolling through her feed on social media and 1 hour on media generally, news and Netflix. That's 2 hours a day times 7 days a week, which is 14 hours. That's 14 hours a week just consuming media and social media. 14 hours is the equivalent of 2 working days that she could spend on her online business or her side project. And it was that realization of something that was very subconsciously happening. She wasn't really aware of it. She knew she was doing it, but she wasn't aware that she was spending 2 working days doing that over a period of a year. And you multiply that over a month and you multiply that over a year, that's a huge number of days, working days, that you're just consuming content. So we worked out a plan of how she could actually find the time, and she has joined my program. But that is a common thing. So awareness is really important when you're actually wanting to manage your time. So I just wanted to share that story with you. So when we look at how it is we go and manage our time, if I was coaching you today, or you're in particularly one of my high tier programs, the first thing I would do, because I was working with one of my high tier clients today. She's the other side of the world, but she knows this from me because she's been working with me for the last 3 years. That she knows what I'll say is that if I was to zoom in to you where you're right now, and I asked you to open up your laptop and for you to show me your calendar of what it is you've got planned today and what you've got planned for this week, and what you've got planned for this month, and what you've got planned for this quarter, that will tell me a lot about your business, a lot. I'm hoping that it's full, it's very organized, it's very scheduled, and if it is, great, well done. If it's not, that's something you need to work on. this young lady, she's 29. She's going to do 1 million this year. Yeah, she's going to do 1 million. And the reason why she's going to do 1 million, amongst a number of other things, is because she's very intentional about how she manages her calendar. So for the next 12 months, every single one of her live campaigns for 12 months is already scheduled. And working back from that, what is the period of the pre-launch to those campaigns? That's all worked out as well. And that goes through for many of the other things, but campaigns are a big thing in the online world, whether they're evergreen or whether they're live, but it's a whole different discussion. But those are all scheduled out for the whole year. She's got everything very intentional. That's a big reason why she'll do 1 million this year. No problem, no problem. So if I was to come into your office or your home or wherever it is you're working right now, and I was to sit beside you and I was to look at your calendar, I'm hoping that it is intentionally scheduled out for this day and for this week or next week and the next month and the next quarter and the next year. Because if it's not, that's a place you need to go and work on very, very quickly. Really, really important. So scheduling your time out and being intentional about it is really important. And I do that, of course, because I have to. Well, I don't have to, but I do because I'm quite an intentional person. The next thing then is, within that, how do you then spend your time? I don't know about you watching this video, but me, I can't work productively beyond 50 minutes. I just cannot work productively. I can work, but I know my productivity will come down beyond 50 minutes. I'll lose that energy. I'll lose that focus. I'll lose that concentration. And I've worked that over time. So everybody's got this period of when they can be productive. But for me, it's about 50 minutes. So I set a timer on an alarm and it goes off after 50 minutes because I know that if I don't, I'll still be there at my desk working for another hour, for 2 hours. And if I could see it, my productivity will go down. You know, ever read a book and you're still on the same page 10 minutes later because your productivity comes down, your distractions come in, and next thing you know, you're thinking about something else, or you've come back to social media again, you're just scrolling. So make sure that you're really intentional about how you spend that time. Now, you don't have to use a timer, but use some kind of tool to be able to keep you focused and intentional. I get up then after 50 minutes, 5 minutes, walk around, go outside, get some air. Maybe you're in an office, just go to the cooler and get a drink. But are really intentional about how you spend your time. So that is really important. Number 3, if you follow me, you'll know that I'm a big advocate of blocking my time, like what I talked about, blocking work into my calendar and batching that work. So I batch all my social media. So I do that in an hour at the same time every day. I do my emails all at the same time every day. I do my offers, my campaigns, my funnels, writing out all my web pages, all of that stuff I do, and I batch the time into one period because I know I can get into flow and I'm not kind of haphazardly doing different things. All the research shows that being just multitasking, it'll make you busy, but it won't make you productive. It'll make you really, really busy and you think you're doing a lot of things, but the productivity is not there. So getting into a routine of blocking your time and then batching the work into whatever tasks you've got I find is just exceptionally helpful and productive. So something maybe you want to try. Then the final thing is, so that's 3 things. Fourth thing is make sure that your day is intentional. Don't come into your day and think about what it is you're going to plan for the day, but really kind of the night before, for only 5 minutes, plan out what it is you want to do the next day and put it down in your calendar or put it down in your diary or whatever it is you use to be able to manage your time. But make sure you get that 5 minutes in the day before, because it'll help you when you kind of land. You know, maybe you've got the kids to go to school, or maybe, you know, you have somewhere to go in the morning, first thing to go to the gym or whatever it might be. When you come back and you're at your desk and you're ready to go, know exactly what it is you're going to do for the whole day. Don't kind of just think about it, which is what a lot of people do, about what they're going to do today. There's no intentionality about that. You need to be intentional, particularly online, because there's too many distractions. It's that shiny object that comes in. It's the call that somebody makes to you that you weren't, expecting, or it's the notification that comes in on your calendar, or the notification that comes in your social media. Turn off all of those distractions and just focus on what it is you're supposed to be doing. If you do that, it's going to help you enormously. I know for me, it has done. I don't think I'd be here where I am today if I hadn't had that planning and that intention in my world, because online is just too distractive if you don't have that planning and that intention. So hopefully that's been helpful for you today. Get into scheduling, get into planning, because it will help you enormously. So hopefully that's been helpful. If you want to join my newsletter, which comes out on a Sunday, talk a lot about this kind of stuff, talk about, more of the things that help you with your strategies, tactics to build an online business. I'll put a link below here. All you need to do is click the link, and I look forward to seeing you in your inbox on Sunday. So hopefully that's been helpful today, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.